Hi guys, welcome to Mark's Home Kitchen. So how are we tonight? So drop me a line, let me know where you're from. So welcome to everybody who's here. So tonight I'm going to make my style of chicken fajitas along with homemade naan or flatbreads. So first of all, we're going to go make the flatbreads, and then we're going to make the fajita spice. Just pop it over the top. Some chicken breasts, peppers, onions, just generally sliced up. Fajitas are a pretty simple recipe to do, so I'm just going to do my take on them. Let me see. Live streams are harder than doing it on video. So again, welcome folks. How are we? We're just going to start off with the bread. So I'll just give it another few seconds and then we'll start. So drop me a comment down below and let me know where you're from. I am, as I say, I'm from Ireland. It's 10:30 here at night, so let me know where you're from and let me know what time it is where you are. So first of all, we're just going to start off with the bread. So what we'll do is we'll just switch cameras and we'll go over, and we're going to take 50 grams of self-raising flour. I'm going to add a sprinkle of onion granules, a sprinkle of garlic granules. I'm going to add half a teaspoonful of baking powder. This just gives the self-raising flour that extra little lift. Self-raising flour on its own, if you don't have baking powder, should be okay. But if not, just put a little bit, it should be fine. But if you have it, pop it in. It does give the bread that extra lift. Now we're going to go in with 50 grams of Greek yogurt. So it's just the same amount of flour as it is to the yogurt. And we'll give that a good mix around. You'll see in a few seconds it will start to come together. And I will just take it off the chopping board. Set that over to the side. Like I said, it's starting to come together now. So now we'll just get our hands in and we'll just give it a good mix around. Now this feels like a fairly wet mixture, but I'm going to put some flour onto the board, and once I put the flour onto the board, then we'll be able to dry it out a bit more. So a little bit of flour onto your clean work surface, and we'll drop that on it. Just gather some of the flour up, and we'll dry the mixture out. So as I say, this is only flatbread for one. You can make as many as you want. They go great in the freezer. So like I said, it's 50 grams of self-raising flour, a sprinkle of garlic powder, a sprinkle of onion powder, a sprinkle of half a teaspoon of baking powder, and then some flour. Just mix it all in. We'll get it all out of the bowl. Just roll it into a ball. I'm going to add a little bit more flour on it. Now we'll put it back into the bowl. Just give our hands a rinse. And I'm just going to spray it with a little bit of low-calorie oil just over the top, and that will help it for whenever we're cooking it. So now I'll take a cloth. What I said it. Yep. We'll just give this a bit of a wipe down. And we'll bring in, I'll just raise this up a bit to change the angle, just a touch. There you go. And now we're going to take a pan, a dry pan, and we're going to pop it onto a medium-high heat. We'll take our ball, just give it a roll round, Make it to the size that you want. You can use a rolling pin if you wish here. So just a little bit on the sticky side. I'm just going to add a little bit more flour to that because it's a bit sticky. Just added a touch more flour to it. We're going to set it on there and we'll just spread it out to whichever size you wish. This isn't working out the way I thought it would. Go back to the old-fashioned way. This is what happens when you're live, folks. It works out as a bit of a disaster. Just put some more flour on that. I'll take my rolling pin. I'll just give it a roll, make it easier. So you can make this just whichever size you think that you want for your flatbread. You can make it round, you can make it long like a naan bread. And then we'll just pop it onto that. Just push any holes together. Again, we'll wipe the bench down. Now this worked for me the other day, no problem at all. Didn't have to roll it out or anything. So, as they say, practice is always better. Just put that in. There you go, and your bread's on. So we'll just let that cook for a few minutes on both sides, and we'll start the preparation then for the fajitas. Give my hands another rinse. And that flour everywhere. So we'll bring in the chopping board. And I'm going to bring in 2 chicken breasts. So there's about 300 grams of chicken here. Just back over. So there's about 300 grams. I have 2 chicken fillets. And there's about 300 grams. Now folks, if you look at the breast, you can see there is a line across it. If you cut it against the line, the opposite way, it will give you more tender meat. I'm just going to go again. Just slice it thinly. Something's making sounds. Just like I say, cut it against the grain. It does give you slightly more tender meat. The same with steak. If you're cutting steak, always cut steak against the grain because it is easier. It does give you make the meat that little bit tender. I will just take our chicken and I'll pop it into a bowl. And then we'll use this. Wash my hands. Get them dry off. And I'll bring the chicken in. And to this I'm going to add some of my fajita seasoning. Now I've already mine made up, but I'll give you my recipe for it. So it's 2 tablespoonfuls of mild chilli powder, 1.5 tablespoonfuls of sweet paprika, it's 1 tablespoonful of ground cumin, 1/2 tablespoonful of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Now I will link this in the description below so you'll be able to get it whenever we finish. So I just put about a large tablespoon in there, and we're just going to mix that up. And we'll let that sit for a few minutes. Just make sure that everything's covered in the spices, all the chicken. And then we'll just set that to the side. Now I'll just check the bread. it's not done yet. Although we are, it is getting there. Just check it. Yep. You will see it start to bubble. That's whenever it starts to get ready. I'm just moving mine around. And we'll leave that sitting there. So now that we have our chicken sitting and it's in the marinade or in the spices, we're going to cut up some vegetables. So just the vegetables for a fajita are normally just red peppers, green peppers, yellow peppers. I've just used a half of each. So I'm just going to slice them finely. Just be careful with your fingers when you're doing this, folks. You don't want to lose a thumb or a finger. If you can, try and make sure that your knife is sharp. The sharper the knife is, the easier it is to use, because you're not having to put it too much force down. As you can see, I'm not using any force at all on mine. I have my knuckles tucked in and my thumb tucked in behind me, as such, like a claw. And that's how you stop yourself, hopefully, from getting cut. So I have, like I said, I've used half a red pepper, half a yellow pepper, and half a green pepper. Just pop those back into. And then I'm going to use one onion, which again I'm going to slice finely for my fajita. And we'll keep these separate because we put them in first. And folks, I hope you're enjoying this. Like I said, let me know where you're from. So I'll flip this bread over. As you can see, it's starting to brown up. You can see. We just give it a touch over there. We'll give it another minute or two, then we'll flip it again, and then we'll set it onto a plate. Speaking of a plate. So once our bread's cooked, we'll put it onto the plate, and then we'll start with our fajitas. So folks, thanks for joining in. Live streams are confusing. It's much easier to do a video and edit it than it is to do a live stream, because you can have disasters on a live stream which you can't have really when you're making a video, because you can edit it out. Now, let me know where you're from. Let me know what type of videos you want me to make. If there's any recipes that you think that you'd like, again, let me know, because I am prepared to try and make them, even live, if you can think of something. See? So as I say, this bread's a bit more rustic than it is doing it, or when you get it from a takeaway, or when you get it from the shop. But I always find that it's nicer because it's fresh. And the other ones are normally, well, obviously from a pizza shop, they're normally fresh, but this, if you buy them from a shop, they start to go hard, and they're just not as nice, to be honest. So as you can see, it's starting to brown up. It's starting to look like a naan bread. Now, whenever I finish with mine, I'll put it onto a plate, and then I'm going to spread some garlic butter on it. The garlic butter does help it gives it another flavour and another flavour dimension, especially with the fajitas, because with the spice on them and the garlic in them, the garlic just gives that little bit of extra spice with it. So our bread's near ready. I'll just give it another minute, and then I'll pop it onto the plate. So as you can see, that's done. Just pop it onto the plate there. Take some of my homemade garlic butter, and I'm just going to spread it on over the top. I'll just change the camera angle. And then I'm just going to spread it over just to help it. And with the bread being warm, the butter just melts into it. So this is homemade wild garlic butter. I make it and then put it in the freezer, and it stays in the freezer for about a year. So we'll just pop that up there, and we'll get on to our now. I'm going to take my other frying pan. Yep. Onto the heat. Let that heat up for a minute or two. And we're just going to pour into that some avocado oil or any high heat oil that you have. Rapeseed oil, sunflower oil. I use avocado oil. And it's just because it does give you a better height temperature. So I'll just go across, we'll use this up a bit, and we'll see what that's like. Yep, slide that down. There you go. We'll give that a second or two to warm up. And then we're going to add our chicken. So with the chicken, make sure that it goes all across the bottom of the pan, because you want it to sear. So don't be having it in lumps. If you have it in lumps, then what will happen is that it won't sear as well. So let's give that. And you want the chicken to go brown and crusty. So a good medium to high heat for these. If you're doing a large batch, you can do 2 different batches of it, because you don't want it to steam. You do want it to fry. You can probably hear it starting to sizzle now. So this only takes, because it's so thin, only takes 3 or 4 minutes. So try not, I'm moving mine, just spreading it out, but try not to move it too much, because you do want it to char. And then we'll remove it and we'll put it into a separate plate. And to that then we're going to add, well, then to the same pan we're going to add our onions. So with the same pan we'll add our onions, and then we'll add the peppers once the onions start to cook. As I say, keep it onto a fairly high heat. You do want these to char fairly well. So folks, like I said, let me know where you're from in the comments, and we'll see where we're going from there. I hope that you're enjoying this. I hope you enjoy my live streams. If you do, like I said, let me know, because I am, what's that? Because anything that you want me to make, I can try and make for you. Like I said, can you hear those starting to sizzle? Yep. So like I said, don't be afraid to let me know. Normally I do a slot on a Wednesday night at 10:30 p.m. in GMT, and I do a slot on a Friday night at 10:30 p.m. GMT. So I'm hoping to make these regular. If I get enough requests, I might be able to do a Monday night as well, and just see where we are. Because, like I said, live streams I enjoy them, but they're hard. They're hard to do because you can't edit it. Everything's live. Like if I slice my finger's sliced. I can't hide it and put a plaster on it on live TV, on live video. So just bring that over. And we'll just check this. Yep. So we'll just give that another minute or two, and then I'll turn it over, and we'll let it cook for another minute or two after that there, and then we'll take it out, and then we'll add the vegetables. So folks, if you've never been here before, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I do try to do my videos 5 days a week. Monday, Tuesday and Thursday I try to add a video, and on a Wednesday and Friday I try and do a live stream. So, I mean, it's tough, it's hard to do, but I enjoy it. So hopefully you'll enjoy what I'm doing, you'll enjoy watching what I do. and maybe you'll learn something from what I do. We'll just start to turn these over now. As you can see, they're starting to char up. They're going nice and brown. We just want to make sure that they're fully cooked through and seared on both sides. And to do that there, in a few minutes, I'll take a meat thermometer and just check them. You definitely don't want any pink in them, because that's, with chicken, that's an absolute no-no. So just let them crisp up. So I'll just say hello. I have my phone in front of me so I can see what's going on. Itchy shoulder. So just keep those on the heat. Turn them a touch. And we'll get them seared through. Then, like I said, we'll remove these from the pan and we will put them into a different dish. We'll fry our onions and we'll fry the peppers, and I'll add some more of the seasoning to it. So if you missed my seasoning earlier on, I have given it out. It's 2 tablespoonfuls of mild chili powder, 1.5 tablespoonfuls of paprika, 1 tablespoonful of ground cumin, half a tablespoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoonful of salt, and 1 teaspoonful of ground black pepper. But like I said earlier, I will link it into the video below. So this chicken's starting now to, as you can see, it's nice and brown. Just want it to cook the whole way through. So folks, don't be afraid to give me a thumbs up if you do like this video, or if you do like what I do. Let me know. It's not like taking a cooking class where you have a handful of students in front of you and you're asking them and they're telling you. So like I said, nice high heat. Get the chicken charred. I'll just flip it over again. And when we add the onions and the peppers in, we're going to make sure we scrape the bottom of the pan just to get all the spices out. So a few more seconds and I'll be able to remove that. Like I said, you want this on a medium to high heat. You don't want to steam the chicken. You want to fry it. You want to make sure that it's on, like I said, on a high heat. The chicken's starting to look brown. It's starting to look nice and, like I said, like a fajita, as they say. So I'm just going to remove the chicken in a second, and then I'm going to add the onions. So we'll take the chicken and we'll put it into a separate bowl. The chicken fajitas obviously are a Mexican dish. You can serve salsa with it. You can serve cheese, guacamole, or avocados. I just like mine, to be honest, with sour cream. But like I say, it's to your own personal flavour. Now to the pan, then I'm going to add the onions. And we'll just fry those for a few minutes until they just start to take on the colour. As I say, move them around the bottom, take all the flavour off the pan. Make sure you're getting the fajita mix and the flavour into the onions. Now you can make your onions as soft or as crispy as you like. I like mine to be fairly crunchy. So it just depends on how you feel with your own flavours. Just give those a few seconds. And now we're going to add the peppers. Now it's at this point, folks, I add a little bit more of my spice mix because I like my fajitas to have a bit of a kick off them. And just mix it round, we'll fry it off, and it will help to caramelize and cook the peppers. So our chicken's done. We have our flatbread done from earlier, as you can see. It's just come out. I'll just go back over. As you can see, the melted garlic butter on the flatbread, and our chicken is cooking nicely. Our chicken's cooked, and our vegetables are going nicely. Now this is great to make for meal prep, folks, because it'll stay in the fridge for 2 or 3 days. You can make it on a Sunday, and it'll do you for lunch, say Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Or you can make it. You can make this with steak. You can make it with tofu. I actually have made it before with halloumi, where I've just grilled the halloumi and the spices. Pop the fajitas or the pepper and onion mix onto a tray, and then onto the wrap, naan bread, pita bread, whichever you want, tortilla wrap, and then I have put the halloumi with the spices over the top of it, and it's really nice as well. And like if you're vegetarian, you can also use tofu, and you can use sour cream for making the wraps with. So the fajitas, the peppers are just starting to come along. Just flip them over. As I say, keep them on the heat, keep them sizzling. And now we'll give that another few seconds. I'm going to add the chicken back in, and I'll just cook it off. Make sure you get all the juices from the chicken out of the bottom of the bowl, because that's all flavour. Set that over there. And I'll let that cook down for another 2 or 3 minutes while I just clean up. So I'll just move that lot. So I'll bring the plate in. Just want to keep those moving. Now just get my meat thermometer. I just want to check that the chicken's fully cooked through. So it should be above 65 or 75 degrees centigrade. That one there is not quite. Yep. So just give it another few seconds to cook through. The reason I put my chicken back in before it's fully cooked is because you get the more flavour of it. The peppers and the onions then flavour the chicken. So as you can see, folks, now this goes great as well along with some rice, or you can mix it, put it together, let it cool down, have it with a little bit of lettuce and eat it as a salad. Now I hope you're enjoying this video, folks, or this live stream. Like I said, if you're not already a subscriber, don't be afraid to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what your favourite dishes are. If there's anything that you'd like me to make. Just give that another few seconds, and then we'll serve it. As you can see, the vegetables are starting to char. The onions have taken on all the flavour. So have the peppers. The chicken's fully cooked. I'll just check. Yep, chicken's cooked. The peppers are soft, not softened, but the peppers are cooked down a bit. The onions are cooked down. And we'll just serve that. So we'll go to main camera. Just take some of the chicken, some of the peppers. lots of the onions. I'm going to drop some sour cream over it. I'm just going to take my wrap, fold it up, and there you go, folks. One gorgeous chicken fajita. So just pop it down there. I'm not going to read it on camera. People will be talking about me. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. This live stream. It's a short one. It only lasts 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So I just I'll say goodbye for tonight, and I hope to see you all on Friday night for my live stream, where I'm going to do a traditional Irish dish, or a jambon, which is puff pastry in cheese and ham. So, folks, again, thanks for watching. Drop me a like, and I'll see you in my further videos.